You are listening to episode 7 of the CMD podcast. I'm your host, Daniel Lackey. Today, we're joined by a good buddy of mine, Nick Terry, owner of Resto Pros, emergency water mitigation, as well as mold remediation. Correct, sir?
Yes, sir. Appreciate you having me on, Dan. So kind of piggybacking off Dan here, Dan has become a good buddy of mine. We've worked together on a lot of claims, helping out, homeowners in Florida, navigating the insurance process and, trying to maximize their claim, so they're not left in the mud, trying to fix up their home for any of these catastrophic events that happen. So I appreciate you having me on, brother.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate you freeing up some time to come on and talk. Now, I know we've talked in the past a little bit. We've had lunches here, but we've never actually really hung out, dude.
I know.
It's all been work related. It's all been, hey, can you help me out here? Or can I help you out there? Or, can you help out a client of mine? I have a client for you. And just kind of collaboration in that aspect and in business.
Yeah.
So this is kind of actually our first time sitting down just talking.
It is. So I always look forward to when you ask me to go get lunch and some beers or something during the week, just because, I'm always like, okay, we can talk business, but then we can also, sit down and shoot the shit as well, which is nice as well, man. Yeah. So I appreciate that.
And I know we touched on it, and tell me a little bit, man, how you started. Like what got you into this? I know it was you and your dad got into it. I know you mentioned your dad was always a bit of an entrepreneur, so you kind of grew up around that mindset.
Yep. Yeah. So my dad's been in, a lot of different industries, from banking to construction to, now kind of property development and stuff like that, finding investors, and developing commercial properties, apartment buildings, hotels, warehouses, things like that. Big thing for me was, I've always kind of had that hustle mindset, whether that be from just working, friendships, family, I'm always trying to be the best person I can be, but also trying to level up at the end of the day and make everyone around me, surround myself with, people that are like-minded. And I think that's a very important thing, especially developing from when, you're younger and stuff like that. If you're not around like-minded individuals, it's just going to bring you down, man. It really is.
I learned that the hard way, man. I think we've all done it, man. I was 20, 21, hanging around all these knuckleheads.
100%.
Doing nothing. And
that's the thing, is you gotta go through some times to really realize what you want.
It's crazy, man, because as when I first started, obviously you're the same way. You in this industry, you have to network. You have to network, market, sell yourself. And I think as a business owner, you learn a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
The marketing, the scaling, the networking. And it's just funny how your group of friends or colleagues change over years of doing this, because I don't really speak to anybody anymore, and it's not out of malice or anything. It's no love lost. Still great people I used to hang out with, but at the end of the day, I just don't have time, man. Right. I need to be surrounded by like-minded individuals. I want to be surrounded by people that are looking to become multimillionaires.
100%.
That's what I'm going for.
Yeah, and I think you hit that on the head. Great. The biggest thing, that's your network. Your network, especially for being business owners, especially for people like us, where it's, it's in the field, it's a referral-based market.
Yeah.
It's like you can do SEOs, you can do, any sort of marketing you want. You can blast it as much as you want. At the end of the day, you need to have someone that is backing your word, and there's no better referral source than that person that knows, refers you out to this client or has some sort of relationship with them, whether that be neighbor, friend, whether that be, contractor, be a plumber, AC guy, someone like that can refer you out and give you that validation for that step in the door.
Oh, those leads, those are what I call on fire leads.
Yeah.
Because if it's coming from a friend or a colleague, they're always, I have maybe 98% close rate if it's coming from something like
100%.
that. The ones I don't close are just, it was determined there's no coverage there, or it's just not a job that makes sense financially. And we'll help them out in some other way, give them some advice for free. But that compared to knocking on the door or SEO, people are always shopping.
Yep. And that's what I've really realized is, because we've been in business now for about 2.5 years. The first 6 to 8 months, from 7 a.m. till 7 p.m., all I was doing is, knocking doors, networking, not necessarily not knocking homeowner doors, obviously, trying to find that network market, trying to find those people that will be referral partners, but also trying to build my network as well. Hey, Do I need a plumber? Here you go. I got someone I can trust, that I can validate. But also, the biggest thing is, you got to find people that are willing to not only give you a chance, but also to prove yourself to them. I don't expect, Jane Doe over here that I just met yesterday to let me go get a referral for a $50,000 water loss.
Yeah.
I always, what we like to do, and what I've trained my people to do as well is, the biggest thing is, we want the little job to start. We want to prove ourselves, show the capability we have in doing these little jobs and building that trust from there. You know, and a lot of thing we offer is obviously plumbers are a big referral partner to us. So the reason they're a big referral partner to us is, you know, a lot of people, especially for residential work, they'll, you know, call a plumber. You know, let's say they come home and, you know, their kitchen, you know, they got a leak in their kitchen sink. Their kitchen's flooded, and that flooding's now in the living room. They're going to call a plumber most of the time, like 90% of the time. So what we do is we try to build that referral base with the plumbers. As then when they go in there to fix that leak, we go in there, extract the water, drop equipment, and then, you know, obviously see if we need to do any demo from there on out.
Yeah, and I've heard that.
But it's such a saturated market, man.
That's what I was about to say. Is I heard it's just savagery.
Dude, it is.
I heard some of the plumbers just charge. They want you guys to pay them for referrals.
Yeah, and we started off back. I mean, it really was working well for the first 6 months to a year of where, you know, we were paying $500 a referral, which is feasible. You know, I mean, our profit margins are still there. You know, we're not taking too much off the top line and also out of the bottom line as well. But I mean, it's getting to the point now, man. I mean, I have some plumbers that we've done work with for a year and a half, 2 years that, you know, we were paying $500. They're like, oh, you know, this company from here just came in $1,200. It's like, you know, for, I mean, average water
Where's
claim.
your profit
There's
after
none.
that?
There's none. That's what I'm saying. It's just like, it's a death trap. I mean, it's just swimming to the top, and I'm not trying to get in a rat race like that. So that's where I'm trying to look at, you know, developing other ways of business, you know, working towards more commercialized, you know, going property management, apartment complexes, you know, senior living facilities, stuff like that. Because I don't want to just back on, I mean, same for you. I don't want to just back on, you know, have a hurricane hit every year.
Things are changing.
Yeah, and
things are changing immaculately fast.
Yeah.
Laws are changing. Everything's stacked in favor of the insurance carrier right now. And it's scary as a business owner, man. And I know we were talking about this, you know, what do we do? How do we adapt? How do we evolve? Because I can tell you right now, man, if you stay stagnant and you don't make some sort of change, you're going to die out.
100%.
And I see in the next few years, a lot of these businesses are going to die out. Yeah. It's just the reality of it, man. You know, as a mitigation company, I'd imagine you guys are revenue driven based on insurance.
100%.
Payouts.
I mean, because I mean, you go into some of these jobs. I mean, how many people you think can just fork over, let's say, 15, 20 grand for a damage claim?
Not a lot.
Not a lot, exactly. So the thing is, the way we're able to sell a lot of our jobs is, you know, hey, you know, there's nothing up front. You know, we build directly towards insurance, and we take that off your back. You know, we're going to deal with the adjuster here. We're going to deal with the desk adjuster, the field adjuster. You know, we're going to try to, you know, get you as much money in your pocket as possible.
Yep.
And we're going to be able to charge what we can charge through Xactimate. You know, our Xactimate prices are different than if I were to go do a cash job.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the Xactimate's a little inflated towards insurance, but also, I mean, at the end of the day, that's where we make our profit margins.
Yep.
So, I mean, the biggest thing is, you know, now with insurance and everything is just, it's so difficult. I mean,
$3,000 mitigation cap on a lot of policies these days.
Tons.
And so I speak to a lot of homeowners, and a lot of them, they've said phrases similar to, you know, I had water in my house. I thought I was just going to pay $200 to have someone come suck it out. And that's not the market.
No,
it's thousands of dollars for water damage.
Just to get a truck over to, like, one of my trucks over to someone's house. I mean, it has to be minimum $1,000 to $1,500.
Yeah,
just to get them to leave to go to that person's house.
I mean, you think about it. You've got insurance on that truck. You've got fuel costs. You've got the hourly employees that are there. You've got insurance that you have to carry on those employees. So I think a lot of people don't take that into consideration. And that's, you know, it's not like you're going out charging $4,000 and pocketing $4,000.
Right.
You're charging $4,000 and maybe at the end of the day pocketing $500.
Right. And the thing is, people don't understand, you know, insurance for, you know, we have liability insurance, you know, we have all these different insurances, not just for our vehicles, our employees, you know, we also have to have an umbrella policy if we want to do any commercial work. I mean, we're looking at upwards of $40,000 to $50,000 a year just in insurance for myself and for my company and my guys.
Yeah.
And then also I got, you know, a few $100,000 worth of equipment, you know, extractors, dehumidifiers, fans, you know, all the chemicals, everything we have. I mean, there's just so much that goes into it. And it's like, the thing is that I think we've really separated ourselves because obviously, you know, the mitigation market it's very saturated. You know, there's tons of competition, tons of people out there. There's so many companies that are just trying to burn and turn as many clients as possible.
Especially in a catastrophe.
Oh, yeah.
Any hurricane, any flood event, you get any chucking a truck out there that, oh, I'm a mitigation company.
Right.
No, you're not.
Yeah, and I mean, we've talked about this before too, Dan. I mean, you got so many companies coming from, you know, Texas, Georgia, Jersey, you know, New York coming down here for these big hurricanes and storms. How many times that we've, you know, went to this client and they're like, oh, yeah, we used ServPro from California last year. $60,000 claim, and we're charging them $15,000, $20,000, which is a realistic number for some of these jobs. Let's say for a 1,000 square foot house.
Yeah,
I don't know how some of these companies get away with, you know, charging that, and then billing towards insurance, then they're getting paid that. Because I mean, it's pretty straightforward with FEMA. What you can charge for, what you can't. I mean, you see it firsthand all the time.
And so what I've seen a lot because I've worked 3 big flood events now, and I've done hundreds of flood claims. So I'm pretty well versed in the flood claims on the PA side of things. And what I see every single time is you get a good amount of companies out there who don't know how to submit the documentation properly. They don't do dry logs. They don't do moisture mapping. They don't take pictures. And it's crazy because then they just submit a lump sum $20,000 bid item, and the FEMA says we're not paying that.
Yeah,
there's you've got to follow those FEMA guidelines. And these homeowners, it's unfortunate because your house floods. You've got someone there willing to tear it out. You hire them, thinking your insurance company is gonna pay for it, but because that individual doing the work isn't knowledgeable in the claims process with flood, you're getting screwed and you're out that 15, 20 grand.
Yeah, and the thing is too, and the amount I've seen that, and I've also seen so many times this year too, just from this past storm with Helene and Milton. I mean, I saw so many homeowners that I talked with and got to know that still had liens on their house from Adalia.
Yeah.
Because they had contractors come in, just, hey, here's the bill, 20 grand, 30 grand, whatever.
Yeah.
They didn't submit any documentation.
You've got to justify it.
No mitigation report, no dry logs, no moisture mapping, nothing. All they did was tear out drywall, kills 4 foot up the studs.
Yeah.
So you take a screwdriver, you scrape off that kills on those studs, it's going to be green and black every time.
Oh, for sure.
And it's like,
Well, and this is where we're kind of changing things with CMD is we've had a big disconnect with a lot of contractors because we come in a lot of times after the homeowners already had their home mitigated. So we're making up a couple ebooks. I'm doing it right now, essentially to let the homeowner know if you hire a mitigation company, this is what they need to do if it's a flood claim. So when you're hiring that company, make sure they're going to submit dry logs. They're going to take photos. They're going to do this, They're going to throw your refrigerator in the backyard, not in the front yard, because people steal that shit after a flood event.
Dude, it's crazy. It's
just little tips like that,
Yeah.
So, and then same thing with contractors. We're dealing with that right now where it's a lot of lump sum bids. Yeah, okay, you're a contractor. You can build a house. I'm sure you're great at building the house, but the claims process is an entirely different monster.
100%.
They want an itemized invoice of what was done for the work, price per square foot, linear foot, and then the amount per item. So I've got contractors out there, and we're trying to get supplements paid for homeowners right now. And there's a big discrepancy because the contractors who are knowledgeable and know how to work that process, we're getting homeowners $60,000, $70,000 supplements.
Right.
No problem.
Right.
But then the contractors who are just submitting lump sum bid items. So, for example, it'll say cabinetry, $18,000.
It's like, what's going to that?
Okay, well, how many linear feet?
Right.
Is there toe kick? Is there knobs and poles? Like what's going on here? You need to break this down a little bit more for the homeowner so that they can get that supplement. Ultimately, they can pay you.
Right.
But right now we're getting contractors that are essentially telling us to go fuck ourselves and that it's our job to do that. And wait a minute. I didn't do the work.
I'm not doing it.
We just need you to break down what you did, dude.
We just need an
itemized So it's nuts.
Well, and that's the thing, too, is I don't think people understand. Is there is such a huge discrepancy and difference between just, you're going to do a home remodel, let's say. I'm going to go remodel someone's bathroom to I'm submitting this to Universal or Citizens or through FEMA. Insurance policies and dealing with how you got to bill insurance is a complete different fucking beast.
You might be the best bathroom remodeler there is.
You could, 100% you could be.
Part of that, though, is if it's an insurance claim, is doing it in a way that the insured can get compensated for the work.
And that's honestly the biggest thing. I mean, that's the biggest thing I learned so quickly. I mean, because right when we started, August was the Dahlia. We were up in Shore Acres. I think we got like 10, 12 leads, and I was fucking ecstatic. I was 8 months in. I'm like, dude, I go to bill. Luckily, I met this adjuster that was there for the FEMA adjuster that was there from Louisiana. She was this lesbian chick, dude. Her and her partner were there, dude. Nice. Super fucking chill, like super cool. So I was like just talking with her. I'm like, I don't know shit like how to bill for a hurricane compared to, if there's
just
yeah, help me out. I sat down with her at a Starbucks after this. She sat down with me for 2 hours, went through the whole FEMA guideline process with me.
Nice.
Little does this lady know now, like what I've learned from her is, brought me millions of dollars from what she taught me. Those 2 hours she took out of her day to just fucking sit down and tell me, hey, this is what you can charge for FEMA. This is what you can't. Because my invoices that I was sending out to insurance adjusters during this storm were fucking, they probably looked at him and they're like, who the hell is this guy?
Well, that's
like, what is this guy doing here? Because I mean, it's cut and dry what you can charge for. Mm-hmm. Especially for the mid side. It is literally so cut and dry. It's like I can do these now. I can do these now in my sleep, for how many we did last year and everything. Mm-hmm. And also it's just like, if she wouldn't have sat down with me, man, I mean, I'm telling you, this chick, her name was Amy. She changed my fucking, like, she changed the whole trajectory of how, you know, I looked at this now. And it's like a piece of cake.
Yep.
You know, and I got my team trained up on what we can do and can't do. I mean, we're going in there. I was like, oh, dude, I'm overwhelmed as hell. You know, 10 jobs. And now I look at last year. I mean, when there's hundreds and
how many did you guys do?
Last year, dude, what was the number exactly? It was like 617, I think.
617?
Yeah.
617 tear outs?
Not all just tear outs, dry outs.
Oh, okay. I was talking about the flood.
Oh, so that was from, all from hurricane. I mean, we were doing hurricane work all the way until June this year, May.
Dude,
I think May was 617
that's
dry outs, tear outs.
So what was the revenue on that?
Oh man, dude, I still got over about $1.5 million still to collect on. But I mean, we did numbers I never even could imagine or processed. Like it was insane. I mean, it's life-changing money, but also at the end of the day, it was just something that it was really eye-opening. It was eye-opening. We're just to a point where I'm like, all the work that is put into this, you know, I mean, this is my baby, you know, this is something I fucking gave it my all and everything. And I'm still not satisfied. I mean, you know how it is as a business owner. I mean, there's times at night, you know, I'm out of the house by 6:30 in the morning. I'm not home till 6, 7 at night. Yeah. Especially during storm season. I'm at home at night on my computer till midnight, you know, 11 p.m. doing shit.
For sure.
So, I mean, I think it was roughly like 3.5, 4 million almost in gross revenue from
this. Is that your best year thus far?
Oh, dude, insane year. Nice. But I mean, I still got about.
So how did you scale to that, man? So, I mean, let's say there's an entrepreneur out here listening to this. Maybe they are in resto. Maybe they're in something else like painting or just a trade, because that's what we specialize in. We're tradespeople, you know, blue collar, service-based businesses. That's where our experience lies. So what's your advice to that entrepreneur? I mean, like, what did you do to get to that point?
So that's the thing is it was so on the fly.
Yeah.
On the fly.
Well, but that's the thing is 617 jobs. I mean,
insane, dude. I mean,
it sounds great, but you've got to have processes in place to be able to handle that volume.
There's times, Dan, I was like, I'm so fucking overwhelmed. I don't even know what to do. I mean, we used labor, just different, you know, labor forces. You know, I was posted on Facebook groups. Hey, need labor for the storm, you know, $20 cash hour, pay you daily in cash. Mm-hmm. I had to take out a line of credit just to cover my overhead. I mean, my payroll went from 25,000, 30,000 every 2 weeks to 80 to 100,000. I was at 100,000 at one point every 2 weeks, roughly.
Yeah, I think
and it's like, you know, most of these people, I'm not seeing this money. I'm having to take this on as overhead. You know, this is an expense added to me. Like I'm getting some jobs or as cash jobs. Like, hey, you know, out of those jobs, I'd say probably half, maybe a little less than half, 40% roughly, were going through insurance. Mm-hmm. And the rest were just cash jobs. Hey, dropping equipment. You know, I had a price list. This is what we're charging for, you know, a dry out, you know, by square footage. This is if you want fans and dehues and then antimicrobial treatment here. This is your set price. They pay me cash right away. So that's how I kind of tried to float some of that overhead for that added expense. Yeah. I mean, really the biggest thing was, man, it was just, I was relying on a lot of, you know, of my project managers, a lot of the people that I hired that had been with me prior to the hurricane season. You know, I put a lot on their plate too. And I mean, I couldn't have done it without
delegation.
them. Yeah. I couldn't have done it without them.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's something important too. A lot of business owners, because I know a lot personally that they're so stuck on, oh, I've got to do it my way. It's got, like, if I don't do it, nobody's going to do it correctly up to my standards. You've got to delegate as a business owner if you want to scale.
100%.
You've got to have that admin. You've got to have those sales guys. You've got to have workers. You've got to delegate things out. If you try to do everything yourself, you're going to be working 80, 90 hours a week and have no value of life.
100. Yeah. I mean, and I'm still bad about that. Like I delegate a lot of shit, man. I delegate as much as I can, but I mean, I'm still trying to be so much involved in that day-to-day base where it's like, I want to be a part of from start to finish, but it's like, I can't. Like there's not a physical capacity for me to, or mental capacity for me to be able to handle all of this.
Not enough hours in the day. You can't be in two places at once.
No. And also like, you still got to enjoy life. You know, you got to be family, friends, all that. You know, you got to be able to be blessed and, you know, be able to have times where you can, you know, take a little break. I mean, if you're going to do that, I mean, you're going to burn the fuck out of yourself.
So I read this book, man. It was Brian Tracy. I think I read this one right here. $1 Million Habits.
Yep.
So he said what he did to scale. He did this exercise. He got out a pen and paper and he wrote down the top 10 things. Well, he first wrote down everything that he does in his day-to-day operations, from checking emails to mailing out flyers, whatever it was. Then he picked out the top 10 that were the highest, that were the most likely to generate revenue for him. Then he delegated all of the rest of that out. so that he could focus all of his time on those 10 revenue generating activities.
So how have you implemented that into your at CMD? How have you implemented that into your business?
I delegate as much as I possibly can. I'm at the point now where I got this from a buddy, Vince of mine, of what he does is he's got his emails being scanned so that he can just and organized for him so that when he goes in, he just checks them, emails, sends it, whatever it is, everything down to his emails he's gotten kind of delegated out. I try to focus on building relationships for the business. That's kind of my job now at this point, putting out content. Obviously, I follow up with my guys on a weekly basis. Hey, what's going on? What do you need help with? Sit down with them for an hour or two here and there. Okay, this is what I would do. What would you do? This is what I would do.
Yeah.
But it's just honestly delegation, man. Delegation, hiring. But delegation is really what was able to help me scale. And I'll give you a quick example. During the storm, I had probably that first 2 days after Helene, my phone probably rang 500 times.
Yeah.
There were so many jobs that I could not take them all. So what I did, because I didn't want to miss out on potential income for the business, we got to the point where we were capped. We had over 100 flood claims we were working, and those take days on the PA side.
Yeah,
you've got to scope it. You've got to estimate it. You've got to work the back end. But I kept getting phone calls. So I've got a PA buddy of mine down in Miami. I called. I said, hey, I'll create a partnership with you. I'll take 20% off the top. You work the job A to Z, because I knew I could trust this guy. I knew he was a reputable PA. So I brought him up and started feeding him jobs. So that's me delegating stuff out in that aspect.
Right.
I had another PA firm that I'm friends with. And this is why it's important to keep your competition close. Because notice I was able to use my competition to help me make revenue off of jobs I wasn't able to take. But then I also had another PA firm call me, and they wanted me to do scopes and estimates. So that's basically, they sign the claim, we'll go out, we'll do the inspection, we'll take the photos, put a photo report together, and write up an Xactimate estimate for the loss, turn it into them.
What percent were you taking off that?
Well, he said he had 700 potentially to 1,000 scopes and estimates.
No shit.
I did not have the people for it.
Right.
But I wasn't going to say no. Yeah. So I said, yeah. And in my head, I'm like, all right, well, I'll figure it the fuck out.
Yeah.
I'm going to take it and I'm going to do it. So what I did is my guys were running their flood claims. I got all of my guys also doing scopes. So what we'd do is I'd say, hey, as we get scopes assigned to us, schedule 5, 10 of those a day, go knock them out, run your flood claims. You know, we're going to take it. But then I also started hiring people from my network, property inspectors. I had a couple property inspectors. I felt they were good to hire because they have experience doing property. Sure, they're not an adjuster, but now we're working with them on getting their adjuster's license because they want to come on and start doing that during storm season.
Right.
Because that opportunity kind of led into a separate division of CMD where we do scopes and estimates. Mm-hmm. And we did.
Well, it just opened up a whole new horizon.
Opened up a whole new horizon. Because I said, I didn't say no. Yeah. I said, yes, I'll figure it out. The way that I figured it out was I hired a bunch of people and delegated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's kind of what that's like, just piggybacking off that. That's dope though. I love that. But kind of piggybacking off that, there was like, because dude, we had probably, I think in Shore Acres alone, let's say there's roughly 600 homes maybe in that neighborhood, 500. Mm-hmm. I bet 200 of those we did. Jesus, dude, like insane. And we had to turn down people.
Yeah,
so what I did is how we delegated it out is I met some just demo crews, some guys that were just being on job sites, riding in the neighborhood, seeing our truck coming up, pay the guys, here's $2,000 to go do a tear out. Check. Here, there you go. They did the tear out. We just had I have a project manager and guys running in trucks, just dropping equipment, spraying antimicrobial after. So that was a big thing, kind of how we started to delegate too. So we had a project manager that handled all Shore Acres. We had a project manager that was handling all of the beach, St. Pete Beach to Treasure Island. Then from Reddington, Madeira up to Clearwater, we had another sector. So all I was doing is just bouncing, making it pretty much a triangle every day.
And again, delegation. Yeah. You delegated out and you were able to scale.
And if I weren't able to do that, I would have been absolutely fucked.
You'd have probably been stuck at 30 jobs and that would have been your max
yeah,
for the storm season.
I was just like, there had been so much profit left on the table.
Yeah.
And that's where I jumped into a second gear. It's like, dude, this is a life-changing event and life-changing money. And that's the thing too that, I think restoration companies get a bad rap on. It's like, oh, they're here to just, screw over, mess with insurance, do all this. But they got to understand, and this is what I don't think people necessarily understand, is we're first on site.
Yeah. We're
the first person to not only talk and deal with this homeowner when their biggest asset that they probably own is completely diminished and, just done. all their lifelong belongings, furniture, memorabilia, anything, pictures are on the side of the road.
Yep.
There's so many
You can't put a price on that.
You can't put a price on that. So, I mean, the biggest thing is just having that empathy, having that empathy of being able to know what you're there for. You're obviously there to help the client first off. Second off, you're there to make money. And that's not something that you want to mix together necessarily, but you have to have that right line of, we had so many times and clients that like take not necessarily advantage of us, but us being first on site, they'd be like, oh, can you do this for us? Can you do this? Can you do this? And it got to a point where it's like, this is not only taking away hours in a day from my guys, but also this is not something we're going to get paid for. Like we want to be there to help out and do as much as we can for the person. Like, and I get it. And like, there's people crying, that have lost everything, and it's sad. But at the end of the day, it's like, we're a business. We're there to operate as a business, but we're also there to, honestly, we're there to operate as kind of like a therapeutic person as well.
Oh, dude, I tell people that all the time. I'm a therapist.
Dude, I've had more people cry to me on the phone and in person in the last year than I've had in my entire life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like just,
and I'm not a big crier, dude. So when people are crying to me, I obviously I feel empathy and sympathy for them, but I don't know what to say. I'm not trained in that.
I'm not either, man. It's like, I'm so sorry, but
yes,
it's like,
I'm very sorry.
I don't know what I can do to help you. Like,
we're going to do everything we can to help you.
Yeah. Like, and that's the thing is like, and we're still dealing with now. I mean, you see it all the time. Yeah. I mean, we're still dealing with it now where it's like, people are like, oh, we haven't got paid by insurance, but they have. Like, I know they've gotten something.
Yeah.
And like, I know me and you've had this conversation. They're getting that that lump sum upfront payment within 10 to 15 business days of when they submit that claim.
Yeah.
And
that's what I was telling you is, and that next flood, make it clear that on a flood, they're going to get an advance payment, and that should be used. Obviously, if I always give the advice to homeowners, everything's a negotiation.
Right.
If that adjuster comes out and says he's only giving you 10 grand as an advance, tell him to pound sand.
Yeah.
Why? What's the justification for only 10 grand?
Get a new adjuster out there.
Because they're a lot. That's easier said than done. Man.
I know it is. I know it is, dude. Especially, I know some of these people coming. I've talked to a bunch of them. Just meeting with them, and they've said, we got 30 other people to see today. It's 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it's nuts, man. They're in and out, and we were negotiating those. We were getting $30,000-$40,000 advance because the way I was looking at it is, if I can get that homeowner in advance and negotiate it for them of 30, 40K, well, great. Now they have the 15K to pay the mitigation company,
right? And
they also have 10 to 15K to put in their pocket to buy beds for their kids,
right?
Whatever it may be.
Get back on their feet. Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that's what we're there for, is we're there to help people. Yeah, we are a business, and it takes money to operate. I mean, if I could do it for free, I would.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that's not the reality. That's not the way the world works. I've got to make money. I've got to put food on the table for my family. I've got employees that I've got to make sure they're making money so they can put food on the table for their families. At the end of the day, though, it's not them paying. It's the insurance company paying.
Right.
So...
And that was the thing too, is we got to a point where it was like we were getting so slowed down because people sold all their contents in their home, all their furniture. And it's like, I can't charge to move your contents. You either have to hire a third part, like a moving company, or just some handyman help to move this. But I can't have 4 guys helping you move beds, couches, all your furniture out of your house before.
FEMA's not going to pay for that.
I'm not going to pay for that, and I can't have 4 guys wasting 4 hours in the morning when they're supposed to, start. Like we had to run. We got to get this done. We're chalking chalk lines. We got guys coming around cutting. Then we got guys, detaching countertops, detaching cabinets, all that. We got guys, like, we have a set point and a set routine where these guys know exactly what they're doing when they come into a home. But when you're telling me that, they're asking us to move all this out, it's like we still have a schedule where these guys need to be at 2 other homes today. 3 other homes today, this crew does. Yep. And, and we got so backlogged and just bottlenecked from having to, help with that. And I just got to a point, I was like, we're not starting any house until everything's out. I'm sorry, but like, we're not. So that's also how I kind of prolonged the process.
Set the standard.
Yeah, set the standard. But that's also how I kind of prolonged the process of us doing hurricane work until this spring. Because I was telling people, I was like, we can't start work, and no other restoration company is going to start work until that house is pretty much cleaned out.
See, I don't know. I'm never there for that. So restoration companies aren't throwing the stuff in the front?
No. I mean, we will, like, some of the stuff, like little things. Like there's like, some stuff like, okay, they got most everything out of here, but they got a bunch of shit in their cabinet still. Let's get a Rubbermaid, toss it out. Something like that. But it got to a point, man. I mean, just that slows us down so much. And that right there, that 4 hours right there of my guys move, I'd say that 4 hours there of my guys helping them move that stuff, that's anywhere from 50 to 70 grand that I'm losing from them being bottlenecked and not be able to get to 2 other houses today.
Yeah. Yeah. there's 2 other houses that are sitting that need to be mitigated.
Right.
If you don't mitigate a house, I mean, think about it. After a hurricane, you lose power to the grid for at least 2-3 days.
Minimum.
Your house is wet. Yeah. It doesn't take more than 24, 48 hours for mold to just
floor to ceiling.
Boom.
Yeah.
Be everywhere.
And that's a thing also is there were so many shitty contractors. There was just handyman people that, oh, here, give me $4,000. I'll tear out everything in your house. No antimicrobial. So that's why we're getting calls March, February, April is, oh, hey, we got mold like on our ceiling from
that's
having
what I tell
24 inches
is,
of water in our house. It's
you paid $4,000. You saved money there, but now you're spending twice as much to fix it.
And now insurance isn't going to, you're on your own.
You're
you got a $10K cap maybe at max for mold in Florida.
Yeah.
So, I mean, now it's not, you just paid that guy, you paid Joe down the street $4,000 to come rip out your drywall and your flooring. Now you are having to tear out floor to ceiling your entire home.
Yeah.
And I don't think people understand like the implications of that, like, and that's something I try to educate homeowners on too. It's like, I'm not trying to get in a bidding war here. Like I'm billing insurance directly. We provide dry logs. We provide moisture mapping. We have 150, 200 plus pictures in a mitigation report sent to your adjuster. You want to go hire this person for $3-4 down the street, more power to you. But you're not going to get that mitigation money unless you have a legitimate mitigation company sending in all this stuff to insurance. Yeah. And I did educate a lot of clients and people on that this year.
Yeah. And I mean, I can understand it from the perspective of the homeowner of, dude, I just lost everything. I don't have a lot of money. I don't know what they're going to pay, what they're not. And that's the thing. But also you can't really fault them because they don't know. They don't know.
There's no education. There's no.
Well, that's what I'm trying to put out is educational
content. That's great. I think that is a huge thing.
Something tangible they can hold in their hand of, look, this is what you need to ask. This is what needs to be done. These are the implications of what might happen if it's not done properly. So go ahead, hire that dude for $4,000 if you're that bad off and you need to hire him. But at least fucking make sure he's going to put antimicrobial or something there. Because there's so much work after a storm. It's insane, go ahead. I'll still try to help them out with advice. Like, at least do that so you're not screwing yourself 6 months from now.
Right. I mean, there's a point. I mean, right after Helene, like you said, I mean, dude, I think that first 12 hours, because it hit 11-ish p.m. right before midnight. Mm-hmm. I think from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. I think we received. I think it was like 290 calls then. Yeah. And then that next day was another like 4. I mean, we probably received upwards of like almost 2,000 calls. And if I wish I could take those 2,000 jobs, man, I wouldn't be here. I mean, you wouldn't be on a beach somewhere right now.
You could, if you scale it to a certain point, I'm sure you could. But
at that point, it's just like, I don't want to ruin the reputation I've built with this company. I don't want to have shitty work, coming in and.
Yeah. But that's what I was going to say too, because I took on that risk and you did too.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned you were hiring people on Facebook. It's scary, man. Because at that point, you've got to have a supervisor on that job site.
Have to. Because there's no accountability held, then you're playing yourself there. Like, what happens?
Because you're risking the reputation with the homeowner. You're also risking, that insurance right there. If something happens, now you got a claim on your liability insurance. It's
like, what if there's just a Rolex sitting on this table here, and one of the guys that I hired off, let's say Facebook or from one of these labor pools, snags that watch, and at the end of the day, it's he say, she say, but at the end of the day, it's I'd be fucked.
Yeah, I mean. I would hope to God it's not a $50,000 rollie. I mean, honestly, I'd if that ever happened, God forbid. But if it ever happened, I'd probably here's a Rolex to the homeowner.
Right, dude.
Count the loss.
And I'll buy.
And that guy's fired.
Yeah, it's fired. But it's like at the end of the day, it's like you got to be able to.
But it is, those risks. Yeah. You want good quality people.
So I guess what's the next thing for CMD? Like, what do you? I mean, I know you've mentioned some things you want to do, but what is the the next year to 5 years look like? What you want to do?
So we're trying to productize service based right now because the claims process is it's weaponized against the homeowners at this point. A lot of policies we're seeing there's less coverage, higher premiums with less coverage.
Insane.
Like, for example, Citizens has this new DO, I think it's called DOAH, where the homeowners can't sue Citizens on these new policies. They have to go to what's called mandatory arbitration, and Citizens has, I think, a 99% success rate against the homeowners in these thus far. So there's nothing really you can do with Citizens anymore. I mean, sure, you can go to appraisal, but you've got to get coverage opened first to go to appraisal. What I see happening is Citizens is just going to say, oh, we're not covering that. We're not covering that. Because if coverage isn't open, you can't go to appraisal, and then they're going to if a homeowner tries to sue them, they're going to go to the DOAH program and get screwed. So it's kind of limiting us. So what I'm doing right now is I'm working like 3 days a week. I'm writing these ebooks. I got one for step-by-step how to handle fire claims. It's like almost 200 pages long. I mean, it goes into everything. How to document a conversation with an adjuster, how to submit an SPOL, I got chapters on how to document your damage. I got chapters on how to make sure your what mitigation is and the importance of it, like why it needs to be done. So, and explaining mitigation isn't rebuild, it's to prevent further damage from occurring. So I kind of lay everything in detail, and I want to sell those. So I'm going to put them on my website, sell them for $2.99. I'm going to give them away for free for about a week or two first, and then sell them after that. But think about it. If you spend $300 and you're able to have a step-by-step guide in writing to help you handle your claim, and you're able to get an extra $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 from reading that book,
life-changing. Yeah.
It's worth the $300. I'm
Dude,
building.
What about you trying to sell that to like some insurance companies or at some point? I don't know.
They're not going to buy that. They don't want the homeowners educated.
They don't. But what about some of these people like, Joe Smo, who's State Farm rep here in Seminole or St. Pete?
Maybe.
Like, what I'm saying? Someone like that. I mean, that could be something.
That's a good idea. I didn't think about that.
He's selling the policies for, Citizens, Universal, all these policies. But I mean, at the end of the day, he's not tied to any of them. At the end of the day, that could be a selling point for him. Like, hey, if you buy this policy, I'll give you this ebook too. And then you sell it to him as like a lump sum. Like,
I don't know how an agent would. Maybe I got a couple agents in my network. I might bring that up to them.
Yeah, I mean, just shoot the shot. I mean, that could be a
worst they can say is no.
Exactly. That's what I've gotten. It's like, dude, I'm not scared to talk to anybody. If someone says no, dude, if someone's cussing me out, more power to them, man. Been cussed out, been cried to, been the hero, been the worst person ever many times in the past year. I don't give a shit anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I hate an unhappy customer because it drives. Like, I lose sleep over it. I want all my clients happy, man. But sometimes it's out of our control. Like if a contractor is not submitting the things properly, and we've explained over and over and over. And so that's another ebook I'm making is going forward when we sign flood claims. Because I was at the point where I was like, dude, I'm not working flood claims as a PA anymore.
That's what you were saying to me. We got sushi the other week.
I know. I kind of was thinking about it. And I'm like, all right, I'll let my guys sign the flood claims. My adjusters under me, we'll go ahead and take them if they fall in our lap. We're not going to actively pursue them. But one of the conditions we're going to have is we're going to have these electronic books made up, and we might even print them, whatever. But it's going to be, all right, if you're the homeowner and you're working with me, we need your full trust. And to do that, here's what we need from you. And it's going to be all in writing. Here's how to vet your GC. Here's examples. I'm going to give literal template examples of what an itemized invoice should look like. So maybe if that GC isn't sure how to do it, well, he comes to a client who has that template, and now he learned from it, and now he can submit his things properly.
And at the end of the day, it's making the whole process
makes it smoother,
seamless.
Yeah,
I mean, at
same
that
thing
point,
with,
it's like, I mean, not everyone's going to know everything. I mean, even some of these GCs that I've
know everything myself.
I don't either. Like I learn new shit every day.
Yeah, exactly.
Whether it be just random little shit too, and it's like.
But if you can streamline the process and get everybody on the same page off of an ebook, hey, client, Mr. Smith, I need you to read this.
Right.
If you're hiring a mitigation company, this is what they need to do. If you need, I have mitigation companies we can send out here. We can get them started today. Boom. All right, Mr. Smith, when your GC comes in here and whoever you hire, you need to look at it as an I understand GCs are busy right now and it's going to take months. But take your time, look at it as an interview. Here is the template for it. Here's templates they need to submit their documentation properly. It's just going to streamline everything.
It's going to make everyone's life a hell.
It's going to eliminate the disconnect. So then we can easily supplement the things because it's FEMA. You've got to follow FEMA guidelines. It's not like a private carrier. There's no option. You've got to work within their box. Yep. You've just got to do it better than they do it.
Exactly. That's it.
So that, and then I was actually I'm thinking about getting into because the industry's shifting, man. I'm not even gonna lie. Yeah. I'm a little scared. Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen. Maybe PAs are outlawed in 5 years. Who knows? So we're looking at getting our real estate license for not real estate, but business brokering. Okay. So business acquisition, helping businesses scale.
Middleman, kind of.
Yeah. Like maybe acquire a couple businesses and scale them, then sell them. So I'm going to start dipping my toes into that.
I mean, I think that's where, honestly, money's going to be at, man. I mean, I've thought about, I'm kind of at the same point with restoration, man. It's like we go through so much like BS.
Well, we have the umbrella. So everything's going to be under the CMD Holdings Company. Then I got my PA firm under that, which my PA firm, we offer scopes and estimates to attorneys, to PAs. We offer appraisals. We offer umpire work. We also work denied and underpaid claims. Then I know we were talking about chasing floods as mitigation,
Right.
you know, going and just doing tear outs. So kind of maybe build a CAT team because I don't want to do anything local. That's like if something hits South Carolina where I'm not licensed as a PA, we can go up there, get an emergency license.
Load the trail.
Yeah, and just go do tear outs for 3-4 weeks, help homeowners out up there, come back, but then also do the CMD Ventures, the business acquisition under that as well.
Yeah.
So kind of operate them all as like one
entity.
Yeah, one entity.
I like that. Yeah.
So
I mean, talking about kind of how you think. So what do you, I guess, just from your, professional opinion and everything, what do you think is going to change here with insurance? Just everything in Florida, I guess, kind of. What's your opinion on that and where it's headed in the future?
We have a bunch of bought and paid for politicians doing absolutely nothing for the consumers. The Department of Insurance is doing no favors with the language they're approving. So the thing that makes a good insurance policy are the recourse that you have, the avenues you can take to fight a denied claim or an underpaid claim. Those avenues are in Florida. You have mediation. You can take your insurance company to mediation, have a mediator sit down with you guys via Zoom and negotiate. You have appraisal, where you can go and appraisal's binding, meaning whatever's determined is the final award.
Yep.
And then you have litigation. Well, mediation, it used to work, but it's kind of a waste of time right now. Insurance companies are saying, what are you going to do, sue us? Because they've stripped away litigation from citizens. Even with other carriers, you now have to pay your attorney's fees. So let's say you're a homeowner with a $20,000 loss. Okay, a lot of attorneys aren't going to take a $20,000 loss. They're taking $50,000, $100,000 losses and above only. So now you have no attorneys that are willing to take your case. But to the average homeowner out there, $20,000 is a lot of money, dude. Yeah. Nobody just has that laying around. So now that homeowner is fucked. Also, we're seeing appraisal language. So within the policies, you have language, citizens language, for example, in the event of a dispute, either party may demand appraisal. Meaning if there's coverage open and the homeowner doesn't agree with it, they feel that they've been underpaid, they can demand appraisal, go that route, and get things paid for properly. And we've done appraisal through Citizens and gotten $100,000, $200,000 awards. And this was, within the last month.
Yeah.
But it is changing.
So when is the official change date, or when's this all moving forward?
We're seeing them. We're seeing them
already
roll out. Yeah.
So is this for when people renew their policy, and then, or obviously for new insured too, new insured policies?
So anytime I get a Citizens policy now, I'm reading it. I'm reading it in depth.
Dude, that's insane. I just don't. How is that how's that legal? How is
bought
it?
And paid for politicians? Bought and paid for commissioners of insurance. It's Jimmy Petronas, bought and paid for.
Yeah.
That's exactly why.
It's insane, man.
So,
do you ever think that, I don't know, I've had this conversation with a few people. Do you ever think, in Florida, especially with how the rise and increase in, your annual, premium for your insurance, all that, do you ever think it'll be a government subsidy thing or a state? Because I know Citizens is already state subsidy. They
are state. And it's, I don't ever want to see that. I love the free market. I love.
What's what America is.
I like the free market, but at the same time, it's got to be fair.
Right.
It's got to be fair.
Fair.
You can't have the cards stacked in favor of one party.
100%.
So there's got to be some change. I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. Personally, I don't think PAs are ever going to go away. There's always going to be insurance. I think for the next 2 to 5 years, the insurance carriers are going to have their way. But eventually, the consumers and the people of Florida are going to say, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Enough is enough.
Yeah.
And the politicians are going to have no choice but to give some back.
Yeah.
So the way I describe it, it's a pendulum. It swings.
Yep.
It swings. Back in 2020, it was all in favor of the insureds.
Dude.
Because the insureds could sue their insurance company and get their attorney fees paid for. The contractors had what was called AOBs. Was this before your time?
Yeah.
It was assignment of benefits. So you could sign an insured for an insurance job, and essentially they signed their policy over to you. So then you, the contractor, could sue the insurance company.
Yep. Yeah. We've had a few of those when we first started, but in our work authorization form that the homeowner signs on the bottom, there's a thing stating you give us full discretion. So they sign away that we can discuss their policy with, the adjuster.
Well, they've gotten rid of that.
Yeah, no, I know.
So
I'm going through a big claim right now with Universal for a condo job, and dude.
So as
They
a
won't-
contractor, you can discuss scope of work all day. You can discuss why that needs to be done. You can discuss the IICRC.
Right.
You can quote that all day. It's just a policy that you can't quote.
Yeah.
So, with that, like code, you can quote code. That's not interpreting policy language. So you're not in violation of acting as a public adjuster. There's a lot of things contractors can do to help the homeowners.
Yeah.
And not every claim needs a PA. As a PA, I'm saying that.
Yeah.
There are claims that are complex that need PAs. There are
100%.
if you're a contractor and you're just getting started, I mean, yeah, you're still going to need a PA on certain claims. But a simple roof claim, simple water claim, if you're a good contractor, you should be able to get that paid.
Yeah. Yeah, we haven't had really necessarily issues with getting paid. It's about we just get so like undercut on our what we're like
Oh, well, they'll send it for review from their what do they call it? What's the term? They'll essentially hire a third party to review your estimate and send back
so
what
we
needs.
just had this fire job up in Oldsmar. This was back, April, I think it was. And so there was like the HOA, the condo association was going to pay for everything inside the drywall. So, removing, so pretty much insulation, encapsulating, getting rid of all the smoke smell. They're going to pay for a few dumpsters. Whatever. They had this third-party adjuster. I sent out my invoice. It was like $45,000. The homeowner was going through her insurance policy for the rest. Come back. They have this third-party adjuster like you just were speaking about. He came back and undercut me to like 20. I'm like, dude.
Cut you in half?
Yeah, half. I mean, that's what happens in a lot of these fire
So
claims.
here's the thing, though. What I would ask is, because I've had that happen where insurance company will send out their contractor. Because I had a collapse claim about a year ago where they sent out their contractor who said they could do it for $60,000. Homeowner's contractor was saying, no, this is a $150,000 job here. There's a lot of structural damage. So I said, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to get that contractor that quoted $60,000. Are you going to be able to do this job for $60,000 without supplementing? They're never going to agree to that.
No, and why?
Because what they're going to do is they're coming in
yeah.
to bid for $60,000 to get that job, trying to convince the homeowner to use their preferred vendor. They're going to supplement. The insurance company is still not going to pay $150, but they might pay another $30 or $40, whatever it may be. But they'll never agree to that. So that would be my question. Are you okay? You're bidding $20,000. Are you going to come do this job? A homeowner wants to hire you. Come do this job for $20,000, but you're not allowed to supplement. Put that in writing for me, by the way.
Yeah, not ever going to happen.
Nip that shit in the butt right there.
Well, that's the
dude.
thing, dude. There's been so many times that we've gotten referred out by, any of our referral network to a job just for a water loss, whether it be 6 p.m. or 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
And then we'll extract the water, do, the drying the next day. Oh, hey, ServPro's here. Or, hey, this company's here. The homeowner who the insured is, obviously, will call, me or one of the project managers on site and say, hey, they're here. My insurance says they won't only pay up to $3,000 for this water claim if you do the job. But if one of their, contractors, their company comes in, they'll pay up to 10. So like right away, then the insured's like, why would I go with the company that was already here for the 3 when I can get up to 10?
It's hard to fight that.
And I don't really know what I can stand on that instance. Is there anything that I could use? Like I think I'm fucked.
Yeah, dude, we're not like, so Citizens has that a lot where they're capped at $10K unless they use the preferred vendor.
Yeah. And it's like, and I'll be honest, and I'll tell them, like, I don't want to screw over the homeowner either, you know, because I have just a little, I'm not that shitty of a person, where I'm like, okay, I'll tell them, like, this is going to be more than $10,000. You're going to be capped at $10,000 for using me. Yeah. You should just go with them, and I'll still be able to charge whatever just for like the emergency service call, the extraction of how many square feet of water, the dry out,
get a little something off it,
a little something. But at the end of the day, dude, is like I'm getting fucked from.
It's the policy language. I mean, so what I've seen from another MIT company we know is they just got put on the vendor list. I don't know, maybe try that.
Okay.
I think
with
there's
who? For what?
Citizens,
yeah. I know it's a whole process.
I think you got to be in business for 2 to 3 years. Yeah. They come and check out. They do a site inspection. Yeah. They run it.
What MIT company is this?
PWR. My buddy Seth over there.
I don't know if I know them.
Yeah, he's here in Seminole.
Okay.
Oh, he's a good guy, man. He's a good guy.
What does it stand for?
Professional water restoration.
Okay. I don't know if I know him. Yeah. I love meeting other people that
are in the industry. Yeah, he's good.
That's the thing is there's so much work. Like I don't like there's obviously you want to win jobs and you want to be, the best you can be as a company, no matter what industry you're in.
Oh, for sure.
But dude, surrounding yourself with guys in your industry, I mean, like even for you with different adjusters and stuff, you never know.
Dude, I learn stuff from other PAs all the time.
100%.
Or I'm able to teach other PAs stuff. Like it's, I think if you get to that point as a business owner, if you're in a market where, I fucking know everything, I don't need to be friends with my competition.
Yeah.
Dude, you never know what being friends with your competition is
Right.
going to lead to.
Dude, I mean, there's been a few times where I've had to call in, like when I first started, and still, like if I get a huge like commercial loss, let's say, you know,
Like, hey, can I use a few of your crews?
Yeah,
Like, I need guys. I'll give you a percentage.
Like,
you know,
I'll give you
it's-
10%, 20% if you bring a cruise over here
Yeah.
and help tear out or drop equipment or extract water. You know?
exactly.
I just don't understand. There's no such. I mean, yes, there's obviously you want the competitive. You know, we're both competitive dudes. I know that.
Mhm.
I'm very competitive. Like I want to win. I'm like every day I want to win. I want to be, you know, as successful and as winner as possible. At the end of the day, you're only as strongest as your, you know, what's in your industry. You know, knowing these people in your industry and, you know, networking with them. You never know what could prosper. Like there's a lot of prosperity in it at the end of the day.
Yep. Yeah, I've had a few PAs on the podcast that are my competition, but we're friends.
Yeah.
Like I like and I respect those guys, and I learn stuff from those guys.
And you guys are leveling up together. You're better than each other because, you know.
Well, it's because I'm in the shit every day doing it. So it's hard for me to sit on the outside and look in on what I'm doing. So these other PAs, they're able to see how I'm doing stuff, and they're saying like they might give me a tip, like, "Hey, you ever think about doing it this way?" And it's, I never thought about it that way, but that's a great idea. Let me take that and implement it. And it goes both ways. Same with them. I'm able to give them advice on certain things.
100%.
So you're not going to get that advice from anyone but your competition, though.
No,
because you know a painting company can't give you advice on how to run a mitigation company. Yeah. So I think it's valuable.
Yeah, and the thing is too is there's just what I've realized. There's so many shitty contractors, especially in Florida, man. There's so many shitty contractors.
Yeah, there's really good ones. But there's
great
shitty ones too.
But I mean, it's just you got to separate yourself.
There's shitty everything. There's shitty PAs out there.
There's shitty. That's what I'm saying. There's shitty everywhere.
I mean, it's
not just Florida, but I think it's more exemplified in Florida. Just
for sure. Because we're like a big thumb that sticks out. I mean, we get hit every year with something.
I know. So you just get a lot of burn and turn.
It's just unfortunate because, and I think honestly, that's what put us in this situation is everybody, they forget what it's about. They see a storm and they see dollar signs and that's all they're seeing. So for example, as I was talking earlier, back in 2020.
Was it down in Fort Myers?
I was just like a time period.
Okay.
You know, back in 2020, the pendulum was in favor of the homeowners 100%.
Yep.
It's, you know, they have attorney fees, they have AOBs, the insurance companies are getting killed. So now the pendulum has gone all the way in favor of the insurance companies. Mm-hmm. We don't need it here. We need it here.
Yeah.
To where there's some fairness
sort of
on both
here.
sides. Something in the middle to where both sides have a fighting chance.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get the experts such as yourself and myself that can help resolve disputes or help mitigate loss. And close that gap. So, I mean, even though I'm a PA man, I don't want to see the insurance companies get raped and go out of business.
Right.
Because that's my bread and butter.
Right.
I want to see the homeowners getting taken care of as well at the same time. So it's, you know, I'm hoping within 5 years we can
come back to the middle.
Pendulum back in the middle.
There's only 5 carriers now in Florida? How many?
I don't know. They come and go, man.
That's what I'm saying.
So as some leave, some are going to come in. Because you're going to get a smaller company that sees a market share and they're going to say, oh, there's money to be made there.
Yep.
But they leave and they come. I mean, you've got State Farm, you've got Heritage, Security First, Citizen. Are they People's Trust?
People's Trust. I just had a claim for People's Trust.
Yeah. They're a tricky one. They have that preferred vendor program.
Dude, so I feel like they all do. I got to look. I mean, I've looked into it. It's just.
I mean, here's the way
I try to separate myself from the competition is, hey, I work for you as a homeowner. I'm not getting sent out here by the insurance company and trying to just do the bare minimum and get out here and get paid.
Well, here's the way Seth, the PWR explained it to me because I was asking him, you know, they underpay on those, right? And he said, you know, we're just getting into it, but I'd imagine so. But it's going to keep my guys busy and it's going to keep them paid so that when we do get a storm or we do get busy,
you have those.
I have longevity out of my employees versus a high turnover rate.
Right.
So maybe thinking of it in that aspect.
Yeah, that's something. I think that is a great way to look at it from Seth's point of view as a business owner. Is you have these guys who, you know, you're keeping constantly busy that aren't going to jump ship and go to this other restoration company that's paying, you know, $2 more an hour or something like that. Like
exactly.
You got guys constantly working 40 a week. You got guys that are constantly happy, you know, with, you know, the management and the ownership of the company and the direction it's going. But that's the biggest thing, man, is like finding guys that are capable and also trustworthy. Like it's so hard. I mean, it really is. And I think I pay for my hourly guys, I definitely pay above market rate. I know for a fact I do.
Yeah, I think I pay a higher percentage than a lot of other PA firms. But dude, I'm 3.5, almost 4 years in, and I only have 4 guys under me.
That's all. But
And
you
then
don't
an admin. Like,
do you
it's-
need any more, you think?
Oh, dude, I would love to have 10, 15.
Right.
But I don't want to hire a bunch of crap because it takes a lot of my time every time I hire somebody.
Right.
I got to pour time into them.
So much resources.
Yeah, it gets
too,
drained.
if you want them to
you
be
know.
successful.
It costs money to hire.
Right.
So I like to grow it organically.
Yep.
Slowly, I guess. You know, if it takes me 10 years to get to that 10 employees, so be it.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah. No, man, it's a crazy market, crazy industry, just dealing with insurance and everything.
So it's not like a roofing company though, where I can just hire anyone to go knock doors. Like we've got to be licensed, we've got to be bonded, we've got to interpret policy. There's a lot of liability that comes with it. So I can't just fucking hire anybody.
Right.
Like, trust me, if I was running a roofing company or a painting company, shit, I'm going to the day labor every day. And
I'm
picking
going to
people
Home Depot parking
Yeah,
lot.
whatever, dude. You know, like
right.
I'm getting employees. So I think my industry specifically, it's a little bit more of a challenge in scaling. It can't really be applied, you know, as it could to something that doesn't need a license.
Right.
So like you guys, I know your mold, you guys need a license.
Dude, I mean, it's that, and dude, there's so many guys that'll just like, I hate when I get called. I mean, I had this happen a lot when I started, but now it's gotten better where a client will call and be like, hey, like this work is shit, or hey, they missed, there's mold still down here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, you got to be so, you know, precise on, you know, with the accuracy of what you're doing to be able to, you know, especially if it's going through insurance and stuff for mold, especially like the containment, just everything. There's so much like more that goes into it than just tearing out a ceiling.
So what my buddy Ed told me is he's the one who played for the Gators who I had on.
Yep.
Because I was asking him about the mindset of that 96 Gators team that won the Natty. And he said, it's all about buying in. You've got to get a select few people, which I think in your case would be your site supervisors, to fully buy in. And when you get 3-4 other people that buy into your vision, they're going to be able to help those other employees buy in. Because now it's not just Nick's vision. You know, you've got John and Steve and Jack who believe in the vision as well, and they're leading those guys under you.
Right.
So
100%, because if your top guys in your management, let's say, are buying into, you know, the vision you have and the way you want to lead and run a company, if they buy in, they're going to make those guys that are, you know, the hourly labor guys buy in as well.
Yep.
You know, just seeing a vision, holding accountability, but also, you know, having them involved and having them involved in, you know, day-to-day conversations is a big thing. I think that, you know, just shows, hey, you know what, man, I want to hear your opinion on how to do this. I don't want to know how to, like, it doesn't matter how I want to do this. You're running this job. I want to know how you want to approach this, how you want to attack this, and how we're going to get it done.
Yep.
And if I think something's stupid, let's let it play out. You know, like having them, you know, giving them some sort of voice, you know, the voice and the ball to run with. You know, I think, you know, giving them, you know, having them on a leash, micromanaging dude's never going to lead for a positive culture. Dude. Everyone does. I mean,
I can't do it.
That's why, like, I mean, the only time I really want my guys in the field, my project managers or my site supervisors to call me is if there's an absolute emergency. I'm like, dude, I trust you. Like, you're in this position. I put you in this position because I know you have the capability.
Yep.
And I want to see you run with it, man. You know, you don't need to call me for anything unless it's an emergency. You know, I put this trust into you, and that also is me building confidence in you and the vision that we have to going forward for this company, you know?
Yeah, I got my one guy, Corey, who's bought into the vision.
Yeah.
And, you know, now I have him sit in when I'm interviewing people. Whenever I hire new people, because we just hired a new girl a couple weeks ago.
How's that going?
Good so far. She's just finishing up all the licensing and bonding, and hasn't brought anything in yet, but we're working with her. So, but I told Corey, I said, hey man, I need your help here. I want you to kind of be that liaison for the new girl, and I'll give you 10% of whatever she brings. So I incentivize.
Right.
Whatever she brings in her first 6-month apprenticeship, I'll give you 10% of it.
Right. And that's gonna make Corey want to work that much
and then
harder,
I got one more girl I'm interviewing, I think 2 weeks from now, something like that. And then a guy I'm interviewing.
Okay.
And if I bring them on, it's going to be the same thing. Like, hey, Corey, go ahead and lead these people for me.
Seamless handoff right there.
So then Corey can make a potentially extra 30% if those guys between, 3 10s right there.
Right there, yeah.
Of his income.
100%.
Boom. So it's incentivizing Corey. Obviously, I'm still going to be there leading them myself, but in those times where I need to lock in and do a bunch of estimates in a day, or, I got 5 site visits I got to make.
Time where you just can't be bothered.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I can lean on Corey a little bit, and he can he can do that for
That's
me.
great. And that's
So-
what you need to build. You know, if you want to build the bridge, you got to have a team to do it. You know, you can't do it all yourself.
And it all, honestly, man, it all ties back to delegation.
It does. I think that's one of the biggest things, Dan, that I've learned over the past, especially just after this last storm, man, is like you can only do so much.
Yeah.
And you have to have people in line that you trust and that can hold others accountable, because you can only hold so many people accountable at once. You know, I mean, that's why you need these people that are like your Corey. You know, you need someone in there that's going to be able to take on that slack when you're not able to do it. You know, that is going to be able to, you know, still lead and still represent your company to the highest possible capability. But also, you know, it's going to keep you from being so droned down where you can't still grow your business.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
So,
and it's, you know, you want, you know, because if they buy into the vision is, hey, I want to succeed. I want to scale this. But as we scale, you guys are going to make more money too.
right.
The more you guys succeed, the more the business succeeds.
Yeah. Everyone eats.
So, you know, there's no cap. I don't, you know, we're commission based.
Right.
So I would love to pay my guys $300,000-$400,000 a year.
Yeah.
I have no problem doing that. If you bring in the work to where I can pay you that $300,000-$400,000, you're gonna get every penny of it.
Yeah.
And you're probably gonna get a fucking bonus if you bring that kind of money in.
Yeah.
So
So 100%, man.
buy you and your family a fucking cruise.
yeah, you guys can buy the whole fucking boat.
So, yeah, it ties down, man. Delegation is I think a giant part of scaling.
yeah.
Being able to-
Delegation and accountability. That's really, I mean, having people
I
that can
think-
hold themselves accountable is a big thing too, man.
Yeah.
I mean, when they
Well,
know that they fuck up, to take accountability and own up to it is a big thing too. I mean, especially for me. I mean, man, there's so many times they'll go in, you know, we're tearing out cabinetry and stuff like that, and a water line breaks. You know, we hit a water line, fucking we flood the living room or bathroom or kitchen again. You know, it's like, I mean, obviously it's not ideal, but fucking get it done. You gotta make this right now. It's not that the fuck up happened. Now, how are we going to make this right?
Yeah, don't try to hide it.
Yeah. What are we going to do to make this right?
Yeah.
You know, that's the biggest thing is there's always going to be setbacks. And there's always going to be things that are out of our vision and out of our hands that happen, especially as business owners. But the biggest thing is you gotta understand is how what is the next step to make this right?
Yeah.
You know, the homeowner's going to be pissed. The client's going to be pissed, but how are we going to make this right to them?
Yeah,
you know, what are we going to do?
There's no need
There's
to
no
cry
need to
about
go
it.
back on it now. You know, it's always about the next
fix
step.
it.
Put your
Let's
best
handle
foot
it.
forward and let's fucking get going.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think that's where, you know, we talk delegation, man, and it's a huge part of scaling. But as you're delegating, that means you're bringing on more people.
Right.
And as you're bringing on more people, I think it's very, very important that you have processes set in place.
Yes.
So, you know, operate that motherfucker like it's McDonald's.
Right.
If we're going out to a site inspection, this is how we do dry logs every single
Right
fucking
here.
time.
Yep.
This is how we moisture map a house every single time. This is how we do the tear outs every single time.
Yep. Yeah, it's so straightforward. That's,
Yeah.
I mean, especially when we
You
had
got all that in writing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude, especially when we had all this labor come in, man. I mean, all the like moisture mapping and dry logs and all that. My guys that are with me year round, obviously do that. But I mean, we had 50 plus guys running around tearing shit out, man. We had to have.
It's messy.
Dude,
It's
is
messy.
fucking, it's like a goddamn zoo out there,
Dude,
man.
when I hired
Chaotic
all
as
those-
fuck, man.
Yeah.
So we literally had a laminated checklist with
Yeah.
everything from first start to finish for a demo of a home. Then I literally gave everyone their dry erase marker. You fucking check everything off as you go. It's a straight checklist. I mean,
checklist is smart.
but also, I mean, we'd probably be able to do an extra 50, 100 jobs just by having that.
That's what I'm saying.
It's efficient. The efficiency of it.
Because you can bring someone in day one. Here's how you do it. It's in writing for you. Just follow it.
And then we had fucking Ryobi boxes that were like just, you know, tool boxes pretty much that had every possible thing they would need to tear out a house from a hurricane. Here's your box. Here's your checklist. Here's 4 guys. This guy's going to be going around for these 4
You have so many
houses.
fucking tools in there. If the neighbor gets a flat tire, you can change his tire. You know, like we're prepared.
dude,
We're
yeah.
prepared. Preparedness is another big one.
man. Yeah, being prepared and just ready to go. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully this year, you know, hopefully there's a storm that doesn't hit Florida, so we can go running gun to that.
Yeah, wherever. It's gonna hit, man. And that's why, like, I don't, you know, obviously we don't
No, I don't
wish
wish
for
it,
devastation,
100%
but
not.
it's inevitable.
It is.
It's inevitable.
It is.
And we're there to
especially-
help.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing too. And like we kind of hit on earlier is the biggest thing I've realized is we're first on site.
Yeah.
We're here. I mean, if we're not going to do it, who's going to do it? You know, it's
Exactly.
like, is this 75-year-old Jane lady that lives down the road that, you know, she's not going to be able to go tear out 4 feet of drywall throughout her house and remove glued down hardwood flooring and detach a countertop. And
Oh, that glued down flooring is a pain.
that pays though. Shit
Yeah.
pays. That shit pays. But I mean,
bet.
dude, it is. Especially after that, there's fucking salt water, storm water sitting underneath that shit.
Mhm.
Dude, almost impossible to get up, dude.
I believe it. I believe it, man. I bet tile's easier to tear up.
Oh, tiles just chip and hammer that away,
Yeah.
you know, and then get someone come behind, crowbar hammer, pop that off, and then it's just getting that grout and everything underneath it.
Yeah. Nice, nice.
Cool, man.
Well, hell, man.
I appreciate
We
it.
are
brother.
at we're already over an hour here, brother.
It does not seem like that.
That's what I'm saying. People were asking me, man. They because I thought it myself too. Because I would watch podcasts. And
Yeah.
how do they talk for 4 hours? What are they talking about?
Dude, I didn't even,
Just
I
goes.
thought, honestly, I thought it was like 20, 30 minutes we were in.
Me too. I looked down. I'm like, holy hell, an hour.
Oh, shit. Yeah, it is already. Yeah, it's 11:15 already, brother.
Nice. You last one for you though, brother. We kind of just flowed the convo, but any advice? What would you say to new entrepreneur?
Don't be fucking scared. I mean, honestly, the biggest thing is do it. Don't be afraid of failure. I mean, I think so many people, it's holding them back from starting or wanting to do something out of a 9 to 5 is that they're scared of failing. You know, they're scared of not being able to be successful. I mean, you got to just deal with the punches and deal with the adversity. I mean, as many punches you get thrown at you being an entrepreneur, you're able to throw that many more. I mean, it takes time to develop and scale something that's going to become successful. It's not overnight, obviously. And I don't know. I think the biggest thing nowadays is there's so many people that are just content. So many people that are just content, you know, making $100K a year at an accounting firm, you know, working that 9 to 5, you know, they got a nice house, they got a family, you know, they're making enough to survive. It's just, you got to have that grind and that extra gear to make you want to go do something. And I think everyone has that in them. It's just, I don't think a lot of people know how to deploy it successfully.
Yeah, fear. And I honestly, man, think that is great fucking advice coming from $4.5 million revenue.
I appreciate it, brother. Yes, sir.
Where did that? Oh.
There it is. Oh, yeah. Yes, sir, my man. Well, I appreciate it, Dan. Thanks for having me
All right,
on,
brother.
brother.
Thank you,
Yes,
buddy.
sir.